much to the marketing of the videotapes and provided a generous advance to help finance the videotaping of the lectures, which are currently being distributed by Harcourt Brace Jovanovich, Inc. The transcripts of the lectures served as raw material for designing the TV programs themselves. Before the lectures were completed, Bob Chittister had succeeded in obtaining sufficient financial support to permit us to proceed with the TV series. We selected Video Arts of London as the best group to produce it. After months of preliminary planning, actual filming began in March of 1978 and was not completed until September of 1979. Anthony Jay, Michael Peacock and Robert Reed of Video Arts played a key role in the initial design of the series and an important supervisory role thereafter. 5 TV professionals were with us throughout most of the filming and editing. Michael Latham as producer of the series, Graham Massey as film director, Eben Wilson as an associate producer and principal researcher, Margaret Young as assistant film director and production secretary, and Jackie Warner as production manager. They initiated us gently but firmly into the arcane art of making TV documentaries and smoothed over the difficult spots with invariable tact and friendship. They made our venture into a strange and complex world an exciting and enjoyable experience, rather than the nightmare that we now realize it could easily have become. Their insistence on combining brevity with both rigor and lucidity forced us to rethink many of our own ideas and to pare them down to essentials. The discussions with them, as well as with the film crews from different countries, one of the most enjoyable parts of the project, helped us to recognize weak points in our reasoning and induced us to search for further evidence. Released from the rigid time constraints of TV, we have been able to take full advantage of these discussions in this book. We are in debt to Edward C. Banfield and David D. Friedman, who read the complete first draft, and to George Stigler, Aaron Director, Chiaki Nishiyama, Colin Campbell, and Anna Schwartz. Rosemary Campbell spent many hours of painstaking work in the library checking facts and figures. We cannot blame her if errors do appear, for we did some of the checking ourselves. We owe much to Gloria Valentine, Milton's secretary, whose good nature is matched by her competence. Finally, we appreciate the help we have received from Harcourt Brace Jovanovich, some anonymously, some from William Jovanovich, Carol Hill, and our editor, Peggy Brooks. Television is dramatic, it appeals to the emotions, it captures your attention. Yet we remain of the opinion that the printed page is a more effective instrument for both education and persuasion. The authors of a book can explore issues deeply without being limited by the ticking clock. The reader can stop and think, turn the pages back without being diverted by the emotional appeal of the scenes moving relentlessly across his television screen. Anyone who is persuaded in one evening, or even 10 one-hour evenings, is not really persuaded. He can be converted by the next person of opposite views with whom he spends an evening. The only person who can truly persuade you is yourself. You must turn the issues over in your mind at leisure, consider the many arguments, let them simmer, and after a long time turn your preferences into convictions. Milton Friedman, Rose D. Friedman, Ely, Vermont, September 28, 1979. Experience should teach us to be most on our guard to protect liberty when the government's purposes are beneficial. Men born to freedom are naturally alert to repel invasion of their liberty by evil-minded rulers. The greater dangers to liberty lurk in insidious encroachment by men of zeal, well-meaning but without understanding. Justice Louis Brandeis, Olmsted v. United States, 277 U.S. 479, 1928. Introduction. Ever since the first settlement of Europeans in the New World, at Jamestown in 1607 and at Plymouth in 1620, America has been a magnet for people seeking adventure, fleeing from tyranny, or simply trying to make a better life for themselves and their children. An initial trickle swelled after the American Revolution and the establishment of the United States of America, and became a flood in the 19th century, when millions of people streamed across the Atlantic and a smaller number across the Pacific,